We're back in black.
We're back in purple as well.
Yep.
We're live and in color this time.
Live in color. No more black and white video.
We're done doing black and white videos. The audience, it's been tired. It's been kind of annoying and kind of a lot of work on our end. So we're done doing it.
Yeah. We have been.
Speaking of the black and whites, the Iran and no, I'm just kidding.
I was like, wait, where are we going here?
Where are we going here?
Yep. They dropped a bomb.
They dropped a bomb. Donald Trump
They dropped a bomb.
did
Donald Trump told them they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Dude, he did say we don't know. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the president drop the F-bomb, I think, in my entire life.
I don't. I'm not too versed on what the president does. Full transparency.
Is that a job you think you'd want?
No. No. Big no. Big
And
no.
Why?
Because that just sounds like too much. And
For sure.
either way, no matter how it goes, like most of the other party just like fucking hates you.
Oh, yeah, dude.
No matter what.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of just like, oh, okay. Like it's now become a thing where no matter who the president is, whichever side, and I mean, I don't know, as polarizing as Donald Trump is and as much as people didn't like Joe Biden either, I mean, I don't know, I didn't think they were that terrible. Not like, gosh, they're just the worst fucking presidents ever.
Joe Biden felt like he was asleep his entire term.
Yeah. But I don't know. Once again, I'm a cis white male, so what the fuck do I know?
Bars.
So I'm not
Fucking
really
bars,
I'm
dude.
not really the guy who's like, fuck, here's the reason why the political system doesn't work, because like it's set up to benefit me. So
Yeah. I mean, to the root of the question of would I want to be the president?
yep.
I'm thinking it's a hard no.
Yeah, I don't think I would either.
No, I think it would suck. I think it would be like a tremendous amount of like power and weight. And like I feel like you have to have a kind of like an ego. Like you have to be kind of a douchebag. You know what I'm saying? Like almost maybe not narcissistic is the right like term, but you know what I'm saying?
I mean, well,
Leader
I don't
type.
know. You definitely have to be like assertive.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. You have to be assertive. I don't think you like. I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say you have to be like any sort of like a douchebag. Because I don't know. I don't think Joe Biden really fit that. Where I'm like,
No,
this
he
guy's
felt
a
like
fucking
grandpa.
this guy's a fucking douchebag. I'm just kind of more like, this guy is really old. Doesn't really seem like he's got everything going on upstairs.
True.
I mean, same thing for Donald Trump. I'm kind of just sick of the old dudes. Get them out.
Right?
Like, hey, you want to get into 50s, 60s? Hey, chill with that. Cool. That's about what age I think the president should be. Around there, maybe 40s, 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
Anytime after that, I'm certain. Once you're in your like mid 60s, 70s, I'm like, okay, you're getting kind of a little bit old for this. Like, you should be doing some different thing.
I'm thinking we need to treat the presidency like sports teams.
Yeah.
Like they need to do it in their prime.
Yeah.
Like 28 to like 33 or something.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think
Let's
they
have
could
Mike
be in.
run it.
I think they could be in like different branches of office in their mid 20s till they're. I think what is it, like 35 is the youngest you can
Oh, yeah,
go
yeah,
vote,
yeah.
go run for president, something like that.
Yep.
And I mean, I think as long as they're in that like, I even don't mind 35. I still don't mind that either. I just think that they shouldn't be like pushing 80 something. I'm kind of like, come on, bro. You're getting
You've had your time.
You're in your nursing home, my guy. Basically,
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, let someone who's a little younger do this shit. Who we're not, and I guess part of it is like a more thing about it is whenever they make a decision that's kind of questionable, the pivoting point instantly becomes, are they a little old? Like
Yeah.
they seem like they're making decisions based off of the fact that they're kind of old. Versus it being like or maybe not necessarily they're making decisions because they're old, but when they make a decision, you're like, gosh, this guy's really not making any sense with this thing. He kind of seems like he's getting out there.
Dude, when he actually like bombed Iran or whatever, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Because then everyone was pissed off at him because, like, you know, theoretically you should go through Congress and, like, you know, make the plan known and, like, people, like, have their say on it and not just be like, yeah, we're going to go bomb them. Because what I can't remember what video it was. It was some YouTube thing or whatever. And they were talking about how they think Israel basically strong-armed the U.S. to, like, bomb them because Israel didn't have the capabilities to, like, get like deep enough into the nuclear whatevers. And it just kind of like compromised the entire peace talk because like right before that they were supposed to have a peace talk like specifically with Iran. And then yeah, they just like kind of torpedoed the whole thing. But I mean, shit, yo, I don't know, I'm just a
I
guy.
don't either.
I'm
Yeah.
just a cis white male myself.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, I don't know, it's a thing.
It exists.
Yeah, it definitely is in the ethos.
You know
I
what
mean,
else exists?
What?
The Chinese astrology.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, I'll admit that it is a really good fucking diss to say to someone.
Yeah.
It's a really good diss. Like it might be the new shit talking.
True.
It might be. You can say what it is.
So what ended up happening, let me set the stage, is my brother randomly called me like a couple days ago. And he was just like, you know, normal conversation. And then it was all late, basically leading to this whole point that he had where he was like, you know, Alex, you're the sign of the rat. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. He's like, well, you know, next year is the sign of the horse. I'm like, sick, dude. Okay. And then he's just like, next year is your enemy year. So like, do not like make any big decisions. It's going to be like kind of a bad year for you. So like, so don't do anything. And I'm just like, dude, what the fuck?
It's like the ultimate shit talking. We're like, oh, you know what? Actually, next year is your enemy year.
Yeah, dude.
Next year is going to fucking suck for you, dog. Have you looked up at the stars?
Have you looked at those fucking stars, bro? They're
Next
saying it's
year?
going to be dog shit for you.
They're saying your year's going to stink.
And then he brought up like, so he was like, dude, in my life, 2 bad things happened to me when it was my enemy year. I
Yeah.
broke my leg and I did something else. And I was like, okay, that's your life. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, don't put that evil on me. Don't call me up and be like, yo, bro, it's going to be ass for you.
Yo, next year's going to fucking suck for you.
It's going to suck ass, bro. The update to it. So he ended up calling me today.
Yeah.
And I
Oh, he
picked
did?
up. Yeah. And I picked up and I was like, what? And he's like, and I'm just bored. And I was like, oh, I thought you were calling to apologize for telling me I'm going to have a shitty year. And then he was like, no. Like, and then he basically told me that instead of like saying I'm going to have a bad year, he was trying to tell me that like to be cautious, essentially. And then,
Well, yeah, I mean, I get what he was trying to say, but the way it sounds
yeah.
is like, yo, dude, next year's gonna fucking stink,
Yep.
bro.
Sorry, bro. And then I liked what you said when you were like, it's going to be a shitty year for my haters.
Yeah, it's a shitty. Yep, exactly. You're right. It is gonna be a shitty year for my fucking haters because I'm
Yeah.
gonna win so much.
I'm going to win like a ridiculous amount. Like, sorry, man.
Yeah.
God
That was
damn.
like when we were at like some random store and we were grabbing the mood rings and I put it on and it said like nervous or something like that and our buddy was like, oh, why are you nervous? I'm like, you know what? I'm not nervous. And I'm like, wait a minute, I am actually nervous. I'm nervous for all of my haters.
Yep. I'm nervous
gonna
for all my haters.
They're gonna get fucking dunked on.
Today. It's going to happen today. But no, I mean, I understand it was from like a place of like love. And I tried to, you know, I know, it's tough. But I'm trying to, maybe I'm just trying to spin it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
It's
don't know.
like,
I mean,
fuck,
I
man.
also think it's a really weird thing to say to people.
Right?
Yeah.
Don't tell me that
I'm
shit.
usually, I mean, I'm never the type of person who's like, I don't know, man. Next year's gonna fucking suck, or any future date is gonna suck for you. Because I just don't believe that. I'm also not a huge fan of astrology,
Bars.
anything astrology related, because
I don't
it's like,
care.
damn, my fucking future is based on a date from 28 years ago.
Yep. Fuck.
Yeah, it's like, damn,
It's
yeah.
all written in the stones.
Yeah, exactly. It's all written there and all pieced together before I was even born.
Well, and then my mom was like, because I told my mom and dad, I got my mom all fucking riled up.
Yeah.
And then basically she just told me, she was like, we're a Christian family. What is he talking about?
Yeah.
It's like, we believe in Jesus. We don't believe in the fucking stars.
The fucking star symbols.
God.
The star symbols. You didn't read that Aquarius is in Sagittarius?
Yeah, bro.
Damn.
Gatorade is in Mercury.
Yeah, for real, dude. Yeah, I mean, I know some people who take astrology way too seriously.
Yeah, I do remember one of my exes, like, pulled out, like, did the whole 9 yards, like, when were you born? What time? This day? And then put out, like, my, like, made our star signs, and she counted that as one of the factors that we would be, like, we're compatible.
Motherfuckers got too much time on their hands.
Motherfuckers got too much time on their hands.
That's insane. That is insane. Be like, well, you know what? Based on the day you were born 20-something years ago, based on literally something out of your control.
Yep.
Is like, actually, you know what? Your parents decided to have sex 20-something odd years ago in this month, and because of that factor, yeah, we're not compatible.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
And then, like, I don't know. I guess we're just turning this into the piss them off episode.
Yeah, this is the fucking came out hard today.
Yeah. The with astrology stuff, the thing that pisses me off the most when people are like, well, this sign is this thing. They're very this. Because I'm a water sign. I fucking sink like a rock.
You're a water sign?
Yeah. I'm a Pisces. I'm a water sign.
Nice.
Usually known for, apparently, for whatever reason, being good in water. No.
No.
Not at all.
No, not me.
I'm horrible in it, actually.
Dude.
And I'm just like, I just don't really. I think it's like a funny thing to, if you want to say, where I'm like, yeah, you're really good at this thing because you were born this month, 30 years ago.
This is what we're going to do. The Pisces sign horoscope today.
All right, let's
for
hear
you.
it. Yeah.
For
Be
you,
interested.
sir. A little segment of we're trying to explain space racism.
Yeah, pretty much.
Career and creativity. Mystic Meg, the Scottish sun. After a spell of uncertainty, you can be clear about what your work path should lead. Perhaps this is a gap to fill first. Shared goals can break relationship deadlock. What, bro? What? This is so like, what the fuck? What are you looking for? Are you looking for career and creativity, love and relationships, money and finance?
Why? Am I looking for one of them? I mean, I don't know, all of them? I don't know. I feel like those are just like the main things of life.
So, with today's love and relationships,
Okay.
resolving romantic stalemates with mutual goals brings clarity.
A fucking nothing burger.
A nothing burger.
Basically like a big like fucking fortune cookie.
These are all fortune cookies. All right. For money and finance, financial energy is steady. Avoid forcing solutions. Review current plans. Spend with intention. And let what's meant for you flow naturally.
It's obvious life advice.
A classic banger. For your health and well-being. Health may feel fragile if you're stressed. Balance activity with rest. Eat simply. Hydrate and breathe deeply.
You gotta be fucking shitting me, dude. Obvious life advice.
Yeah. So here's your cosmic tip for the day. Let go of your urge to force progress. When you slow down and trust the flow, whether in love, career, money, or health, everything aligns more naturally. Stand strong in your intuition and allow your true path to unfold.
Obvious nothings. I love how they always they're just obvious nothings.
Yeah.
They don't actually give you practical advice that you could use on like a day-to-day basis.
No.
That's like you should try this thing. You should try. It's just more like, be thoughtful about your relationships. It's like, oh, no shit, huh?
Fuck, dude.
Damn, if only I would have thought of that before reading this.
I we wasn't doing that.
You're Aries, right?
Yep.
All right, I'm going to read yours. Pulled directly from ChatGPT.
My man.
Your horoscope for today. We're going to start with, it's got general, it's got love, career, money, and wellness.
Okay.
So general. Today is a powerful day for clarity and decisive action.
Yep.
Something you've been putting off may demand your attention. And
Okay.
once you face it head on, you'll feel a surge of momentum. Don't hesitate to speak your mind, but stay mindful of how others might receive your words.
Hell yeah.
Pretty obvious advice that I feel like, any day this could happen, any of it. All right, for the love side, your confidence is magnetic right now. If you're single, someone may be drawn to your bold energy. In a relationship? Question mark? Be sure your passion doesn't come off as pushiness. Listening is just as important as expressing yourself today.
Son of a bitch.
Just like it is every fucking day.
So, am I single now because of my horoscope? Is that where we are? Excuse me, ma'am. My horoscope said to break up with you. It said I'm gonna have a very powerful single day.
Yeah.
So like today, we're paused. I'll resume when it's a good day to be in a relationship.
Yep. All right, next up, career. A surge of motivation could lead to major progress on a project or goal. If there's a leadership opportunity or bold idea you've been sitting on, now is the time to act. Trust your instincts, but don't bulldoze. Collaboration will take you further. Money. Be mindful of impulsive spending. That's the first thing it fucking says.
Son of a bitch.
So, like, once again, obvious life advice.
Yes.
You might feel the urge to make a bold purchase or investment, but take a moment to step back and think long term. There's strength in strategy.
True.
Wellness. You're energized, but avoid burnout. Carve out time for physical movement, something competitive or
Fuck
high
it.
intensity will especially feel good today.
Oh my god.
Dude, general life advice. You could say that is applicable to any fucking person.
Yeah, and you can always like find something because like we were talking about stocks as is tradition,
Yeah.
and like I almost just went on the phone and just bought like 10 shares of SoFi. I
Yeah.
almost did it, and then I was like, wait, what am I doing? I'm gonna wait for a down day.
Yeah.
I was like, I should fill the order on a down day, not an up day.
Yeah. You can always find something to fill it in, and that's how that's just how they get people. Is where it they
Yeah.
can get it to fit them on the perfect day. And I also think there's a part of it where you have to be kind of gullible to believe that shit. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I do think that like it's general life advice, so it's going to apply to people. But when I say like believe that shit, I mean more of like the fact that a horoscope reading or the type of horoscope defines a person.
Yeah, but dude, no way. No, it's impossible
Yeah.
because like everyone can generally fit in a box. We're all humans, right?
Yeah.
And especially if you're like trying to be like you're normal, you got a job, you got relationships.
I don't know. I'm not a human, but
Bars.
I get that you are.
I'm
But
a fucking Martian. I'm Little Wayne.
yeah.
But like, I don't know, man. It's all just general. But here's the one thing I will say about it. I don't think they're coming at it from like a place of like, yeah, I'm gonna get them. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
I think
Weirdly,
they actually believe it.
here's the reason how it's not like I got ya. It's more of the fact that people can sell shit based off of the zodiac sign type
The
beat.
IP,
Like just off the zodiac sign, like via what
like the IP, intellectual property,
of what?
like zodiac signs. Because there's no way there's
Yeah.
actually an IP.
Yeah, no one owns an IP on it.
Exactly.
So, yeah. It's kind of along the lines of where it's like people start getting like full zodiac themed bullshit.
I could get a Zodiac tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be interesting,
Yeah. A lot of that is more for like art purposes, you know,
right?
or it's just more something you like. And I don't know. Maybe this is also part of the reason people like it is because they're just like, oh well, I align with when I was born, and
I just don't know if I really identify with it,
yeah.
to be
I mean,
honest.
I get along. I like align with the artwork of it
Yeah.
because I'm like, there's a lot of cool Pisces artwork out there, but I'm not like, oh, someone's personality is gonna be this or that because of when they were born.
Well, and then there's also like your like birthstone
Yeah.
as well. Remember, I think mine's like aquamarine or some shit.
Purchasing motivator.
Exactly. So it's like all these labels and shit.
Yeah.
We're just being advertised to.
For
Like
real.
right from the jump. Somebody at one point just looked at you and said, "You're a Pisces
Yep.
because you're born on this day." And you're like, "What?"
That means your stone is this, so you
Yeah.
gotta go buy one.
So, do you want a class ring? I'm just saying.
It's got your birthstone on it.
It's literally your birthstone.
So what you're really saying is you're broke.
So you're broke as fuck.
Yeah, you can't even buy one.
Hey, Hose, Chopped Huz, come here. No, he's
Chopped
broke. He's broke as
He's broke.
he's broke as fuck. No, he won't open a credit card up right now.
Yeah.
He won't do it. Do you think it would that would work if like you hired a few like girls to like laugh at him?
To laugh at the.
The guy who's just being called broke.
I mean, it definitely like I don't know. It probably would be like, what the fuck? I
Like,
don't know.
everyone starts
I'd
ragging on
definitely
him.
feel fucking bad if it was me. I'd be like, what the fuck? I'd be like, God damn, yo, holy shit. Let a brother breathe.
What do you think is the scummiest business practice?
The scummiest business practice.
Yeah.
The scummiest business practice that I can think of. I don't really know. I don't have anything off the top of my head that I can actually like. I guess like just like
One that I
lying,
immediately don't like is well, there's the obvious one, like fucking scams. Like
Yeah.
shit, yo. Like literally stealing fucking old people's money.
yeah.
Like that's fucking
That's pretty fucked up.
scumbaggery. And then but here's the one that's like not just like purely illegal. And maybe it might be. I don't actually know. Scalpers.
No, scalping is definitely not illegal.
It's not illegal?
No, people do that all the time, like Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
I mean,
Those guys are fucking losers.
theoretically, I mean, if you're like the type of person with what we do, being that we do a lot of stock trading, if we try to time the market, that's when you become like scalping. You're scalping the stock market.
Whoa. I'm talking about I know, I understand that that's like the small scale, but like if you're talking about Pokemon cards, like a
Or like
kid's game,
arbitrage. I think
Who?
it depends on the scenario. Because like that'd be like arbitrage, where you're buying something at a cheaper rate and then you're reselling it.
a Labubu's
Basically,
or
yeah, like
whatever?
Labubus. I think that's a great example where you're trying to more capitalize on the people who are actually like fans of it.
Which is so weird.
But I mean, that's kind of the market we've created. I mean, it's kind of the beast that it is.
Sensationalism.
Yeah, 100%. Where it's like, okay, if you don't like that, that's the case, that people are like scalping and in it for the money, then like I'm sorry, but that's kind of built in to the machine of capitalism. So, or even just the machine of like any like cultural popularity trend.
Yeah.
Whether it's in capitalism or in any other society. It just kind of is like a thing that's inherently, as something is popular and gets more popular, there's going to be people who want to take advantage of the fact that it's popular.
True.
So whether you're trading money, you're trading rocks, whether you're doing whatever,
Somebody bought it first.
Yeah, for real.
I don't like it
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah.
I know you're in the camp of I understand exactly what you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't like it, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, admittedly, it definitely is. It's like, it's messed up for the people who are like in the hobby.
Like the
like-
PlayStation 5?
Yeah, that's a good example. Like gamers, like PlayStation 5, any trading cards.
Magic, Pokemon.
But I mean, like at some
Concert
point,
tickets.
like I don't know. I'd argue people want to do that with most things. They want to fucking buy a car and flip it. They want to buy a house and flip it and make more money. So, I mean,
Yeah.
there's some lines where it's okay and where it's not.
Yeah, I guess
So-
I just don't like it.
Yeah.
I think it's
No
'cause
one likes it when it's not advantageous to them.
True.
When
Yeah.
you're on the losing end of it, you're like, this is bullshit.
Yeah, dude, I held out buying a PS5 until I just bought it direct.
Yeah. When you want to buy a PlayStation 5 but can't because there's a bunch of people reselling them, buying them and reselling them, you're like, this is bullshit.
It's like,
But
bro,
when you're the guy, and I'm not saying you specifically, I'm kind of just talking in general,
yeah.
but like when someone wants to go, buy the PlayStation 5, or I'm going to say a house, because I think this is more common actually in housing. Scalping and housing, where they try to buy it for cheaper and then they wait a little bit and then resell it.
Yeah.
They resell the house.
You're
for
just saying
more.
it's like investing on a small scale.
Exactly.
God damn.
And I would argue that it's actually more fucked up that people do it with housing, because it's like that's a house someone could potentially own and live in for 30 years, 40 years and raise their kids in and shit like that, but they're like, I want to make 10 grand.
Yeah, I'm
So-
gonna make 10 grand. Fuck it.
There's people that do that shit where they
I'm
fucking
kind of banking on it. I'm
Yeah,
hoping to
I
buy
mean-
a house. I'm hoping that it fucking increases in value for
Yeah.
sure. It
Yeah.
increases your equity, yo.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I think
Like,
there's
goddamn.
there's a difference in buying a house and holding on to it for 30 years and then selling it down the line. I think there's a little bit of a difference there.
Yeah.
Versus because it maybe at that point in 30 years it doesn't fit you anymore, because like how I think about it is like, okay, if I buy a house with future wife and we have 3 kids, 30 years from now all the kids are moved out and we live in a 5-bedroom house, it's kind of like, well, it's just us here in this
Yeah.
5-bedroom house. This place feels kind of fucking empty. Like, why do we
That
have
happened
this
to my
big of a place?
grandparents.
So yeah,
You know that place in Cross?
yeah.
They they built that place so that everyone would like come and visit, and then we'd have like a big old Christmas there or whatever, and it
Mhm.
just never pans out that way.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, that shit had like 8 fucking rooms. It was like it's ridiculously big.
Yeah.
So goofy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. One of my other buddies, his dad has a place that is, it literally is. It's like a vacation home where
Yeah.
they literally they have to almost like force people to come over. Where they're not like you're coming over,
Get over here.
but they're like, if they're gonna do something, they're like, yeah, let's do it over at the cabin
Yeah.
to make use out of it, because it's a nice place. It's on a nice little lake, and it has I'm trying to count in my head, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
God
6,
damn.
7. It's got 8 different places for people to sleep at.
True.
And it's got a loft area, plus it's a 4 or 5 bedroom. So arguably you can get 20 people in that place.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've been over there where they've had a good 15 people over there, and they have a little party going on, and they'll do that during the summer months. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, yeah, after a certain age and a certain point, you get to a state where you're like, I don't really need this place. It's just too big. And then you want to sell it because you're just more like, oh, I want to just get rid of it. This is too much. And then the value of it appreciated over time.
Yep.
Because
Ideally.
yeah. Ideally. I mean, it happens in at the bare minimum, it'll happen with the land because of inflation. So,
Yeah. I mean, it has to go up, right?
well, yeah. Yeah, you would imagine with inflation, the value of things, if you buy it right now, it's going to go up in price. It'd be like the same idea if you bought a candy bar in the 80s when it was 70 cents or something like that, and you had the candy bar till now,
Yeah.
just using a candy bar for easy math, it's $3.
And then to go to the actually kind of the midpoint is, and I think that's why I was mad at my brother, is because I was dead ass wanting, I want to buy a house soon.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of fucking just like rattled my cage because it's like, oh, cool. Just happened to work out that the Chinese New Year is fucking telling you this, and
Yep.
like, you want me to literally, dude. He was telling me he was gonna move his wedding because of this Chinese New Year or Chinese astrology shit. He was like, yeah, man, I don't know if I want to do it because it like Megan's his fiance is like the same age as me, so like he was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to do it while she's in bad luck mode, and I was like,
Doesn't
brother,
even make sense.
I dead ass, and I was like, brother, since when? Because like my brother's a smart guy, dead ass, like he's a smart, like he's a business oriented guy, but sometimes he's fucking like weird. You know what I mean? I don't want to call him stupid, but like kind of like fucking.
Well, I mean, when you look at, I mean, even if it, let's say for whatever odd reason, it was like a bad year next year, like
Shit, yo, it's gonna happen anyways.
Yeah, life's gonna happen. You know,
Yeah.
they call what is it? What is this? How does the saying go? Life's what happens when what you plan doesn't happen. So
Yep.
either way, fucking life's gonna happen. You know,
Yeah.
some shit's gonna hit the fan.
Literally.
Yeah, the only consistency is inconsistency.
Actually, yeah,
Yeah.
man.
So, you know, hopefully, you know, at some years, you know, you know why you want some bad times? Because there's opportunity in bad times.
Yeah.
There's always opportunity. If everything's always just fucking moonshotting going up to the fucking hills,
Yep.
then at that point, that's all it's going to ever fucking do.
Yeah. Well, dude, like, I just don't think I should dictate my plans on what XYZ. And then, you know, obviously he reeled it back and he just told me, he was like, I'm just telling you not to rush into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't go to the first house and be like, yo, this is it, you know, which is like fine. I'm actually going to start looking at houses
Obvious
in a couple
life
weeks.
advice.
I know, but like,
Once again.
just had to get there by calling it a bad fucking year to,
Yeah.
you know, I better. So here's the ways to prevent it. I need to get gifted a jade. So I need some. Can you just like buy me a jade on the low?
You need to get gifted a jade.
Yeah, like
a gem?
Yep. Give me like a jade bracelet,
What the fuck?
bro. If you don't give me it, I'm gonna have fucking dog shit luck, bro.
God damn, you sound. Let me guess, you're also a fucking prince from Nigeria.
Oh my god. And
Like,
then the other thing
dude,
is
I
I
don't
need
get
to.
the thought process. It's out of nowhere.
I need to wear red underwear. That's the two things that I can do for sure that I thought were pretty obtainable.
You need to wear red underwear and you need jade.
Yep.
You need to get a jade.
I need to start dating
Damn.
Jade.
Yep. Did you get the sex change? You need red underwear and you need jade jewelry.
Dude,
Jeez.
I have red underwear.
I mean, yeah, I do too. But
I
I
don't
just
think
think
it's
it's
that crazy.
funnier if you're like, you need to acquire a jade gemstone and you need red underwear. What is this, a fucking RuneScape quest?
Dude, like literally.
Like-
what is this? Objectives? Get
yeah,
the fuck
for
out of here.
real. Actually, to make sure you don't fail the quest, you actually have to acquire these items.
Dude, I was like, this is fucking stupid as fuck.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. Truthfully, what I actually said to him, I was like, "Yo, you used to operate in logic and facts. What happened? Because like, what on in your head where it's making more sense to start trusting Chinese astrology versus the situations?
Yeah, for real.
Like, what the fuck happened? Like, when did we go into pretend land?"
Yeah, that's a great point.
It is a great point.
Yeah.
And on that note, it's time to get serious. It's time to tell them
Time to
about
get
the
serious.
concept.
Of what? Us doing short form content?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Basically, we're gonna stop doing a lot of long form and we're gonna do a lot of short form, because yeah, marketing. Basically, long form content really mainly works when you have an existing audience.
Yeah.
Mainly, I mean, for whoever is watching this.
Maybe me in the future.
Yeah, it's basically like a lot, especially now with the way people just consume media. They're usually consuming some form of short form media. They're consuming a Instagram Reels, a TikTok, a Facebook Reels, a YouTube Shorts, whichever platform, because it's short, bite-sized pieces of content that you don't have to commit your time to.
Yep.
Like, you don't have to commit a long period of time to watch a billion shorts. You can decide to stop watching whenever you want, and you're not committing a super long timepiece
Yeah.
to it. And with that, being that it doesn't take as much time commitment for our aspect, there's a lot more growth in that, which is more of the stage of where we're at. Whereas long form podcast theme stuff is very bottom of funnel content. It's very, once you have an existing audience, you make more long form content, you make more podcast type stuff because you have an existing audience of people who already want to see content from you.
Yep. And I think that's exactly the reasoning behind it. So basically what going forward, we're going to be focusing on short form content. We're just going to be releasing a lot more shorts. We're not, the podcast isn't done forever. Once we have an established audience and everything's vibing, we're not opposed to doing it again. But if we're going to put, X amount of hours into doing the pod and doing this, we want to see just more results, especially in these beginning stages.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at that point, if we're just like, we're just kind of, don't get me wrong, obviously we find a lot of fun in it, but there's also there's a balance between having fun and
It's
it
a commitment.
also growing and doing something.
Yeah.
Because if it was just about having fun, and this is more of just
Why
my
post it?
philosophy on it, if it's just about having fun, let's just fucking hang out.
Yeah.
Let's not also make hanging out a chore.
Yeah.
That we have to go do something, or that we have to make this commitment to creating content and all this other bullshit.
Yeah.
When we can just fucking chill out, play video games, or I don't know, go fucking exercise or do
Yeah.
something that we don't have to make a full commitment to.
Yeah.
Or at least, we don't necessarily have to make a full commitment to content, but then it doesn't feel as wasteful.
Yeah.
So,
that being said, if you're on the Apple Podcasts or the Spotify, I'd highly recommend jumping over to just YouTube or Instagram, TikTok.
yeah. And it's today's form of media. Most people are going to see the content. And I'll bet that most people who watch us right now, they already came from
Short
content
form.
that we've already posted of short form.
Yeah.
Because we did it for a while. We tried doing a balance of the two. And then we stopped doing a lot of the short form just because it was a lot of work
Yep.
to do the podcast and the short form. So for a while, we're just going to stick with doing the short form just because it should help grow. And then with it helping growing, that's going to bring some of the monetizing factor of it, which should ideally help us outsource a little bit of stuff too.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm more comfortable picking up some of the long form content back up after we're generating a consistent revenue, a
Yeah.
decent little consistent revenue to hire a long form editor.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, they will handle all of the long form stuff. We won't even
Yeah.
have to touch it, where it's basically just we'd come and film shit. We'd upload it to a Google Drive, and that's all we would do.
Hell yeah.
And then what we do ideally is from that stuff, we take the most clippable things and upload that. But to start, and I was kind of telling you a little bit about this before we started recording, is we're going to do a little 4-month stretch from here, maybe 5 month, where it'll be a month to 2 months will be kind of relaxed content amount. We're just going to get back into the flow of doing short form content.
Yep.
We'll see what kind of pace we can find. We're going to understand our workflows. And then after that, we're going to do a 75 hard of posting minimum once a day.
Yep.
And a lot of that, especially even just with our short form content, will be one-off pieces of content
Yep.
that we kind of have more precision in, where we're
Yeah.
all right, this one piece of content, we want to make sure we have an effective punchline for our joke, or if we're going to play a game or something like that, we just want to make sure we're doing that effectively.
Exactly.
So,
And that's the future plans. Boys and girls, it's been awesome. We love you. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you in the short form.
We'll see you in the short farm. Peace.
Peace.